My very first, albeit small, check from traditional publishing. So I rearranged my bookshelves, beautiful big bunch of spinach, basically teaching about fairy tales and structure. Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm hoping to show you guys a bit of a peaceful, productive, ordinary day in my life as a writer and content creator. I'm gonna bring you with me on my day during this time where I'm in the early stages of writing a new novel. I'm doing research stuff. If you're new here, hello, my name is Christy. I am a writer and content creator. I just finished my novel, Project Teacup. It's with my literary agent, stuff's going on with that. And I'm now in the early stages of writing a new novel and sort of finding my footing with that. I'm having to find my feet because this is the first time I'm starting a new project since 2020 because I came up with Project Teacup back in 2020. I was working on a year in Tōkyō. You know, I was still full-time working in marketing. I sort of like knew exactly what I was going on with next. And now I'm in kind of this doldrums time where I'm trying to find my footing with a new project. So I'm trying to carve out a new routine and work out exactly what I should be doing. So this will be a good day to show you guys because I'm going to be working on some eclectic stuff today. So what is our plan for today? First of all, small caveat, our living room is a little bit messy at the moment. So in Australia, July is the beginning of the new tax year, which means that now that it's August, we have received our tax returns. So Tyler and I upgraded both of our PCs. The graphics card I have is now like the third best graphics card on the market. So Tyler organized the whole thing. It's a really good graphics card. It makes me so happy. Editing on Premiere Pro has just become way easier. God, I use too many adjustment layers. It creates problems, but now everything is a lot smoother for me. But anyway, that means that down here, there's just so many boxes of computer parts. We've made a tiny like PC for our television so that now I can play Steam games on the TV because I was trying to play Star Wars, Steam linking it to my computer, and that was a nightmare. It was laggy. But anyway, what is our plan for today? The plan is to do some writing stuff. I want to work on my Notion templates for a little bit because I am so excited to be releasing Notion templates at some point. I have some planning stuff for tomorrow because I'm going to be volunteering at a high school and teaching about structure and characterization and a few different things. So I have to make a plan for that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, like kind of like writing, like admin things today. I need to also go pick out a new pair of glasses because if you notice this in this video or the next video, my eye is ever so gently twitching and it's really irritating. But it turns out that I need to update my glasses prescription. So I went to the optometrist, got the new prescription, and I need to go order glasses today. So this was not untrue. I did need to get my glasses updated, but turns out the eye twitching thing was literally just stress. Like I went to so much effort. I was taking magnesium. I had memorized the eye twitching forums on Reddit. I'd done so many things because my eye was twitching for a really long time, and then this like work thing I was stressed about got resolved, and then the eye twitch just went away on its own. So that's how that went. Anyway, spoilers for my glasses and also back to the video. My favorite way to start off a nice productive workday though is by doing a morning workout, which brings me to the sponsor of this video, which is Trainwell. Trainwell, formerly known as Copilot, is a personal training app that I've been using and absolutely loving. Working out is so incredibly important for mental health, cardio health. For me, the main reason I work out now is to increase the strength of my back muscles because I have chronic neck pain and I've had this since I was a child. The stronger I make my upper back, the less this pain bothers me. But working out on your own is such a challenge. Like it's so hard to know what to do, how frequently, what muscle groups to target. I found that if I just train on my own at home, I never end up targeting the specific muscles that I should be targeting. And so with Trainwell, I love that I got to do a whole onboarding call with my personal trainer, Cara. She was amazing, had so much expertise, was so lovely. My major goals for fitness are that I want to make my upper back stronger. I spent a lot of time when I was a kid reading, so my posture was really bad.
So I totally understand wanting to have some things that were opening the chest up a little bit, strengthening not only your upper back, but maybe some lower neck, things in general that'll bring your shoulders back, help your posture a lot.
And she made a personalized program for me that was so wonderfully bespoke and tailored to me. Because of working with Cara, my upper back muscles are stronger and I've managed to be really consistent with my workouts. I love that the system is super flexible while still having accountability And the human connection that you have with your personal trainer really is the special part of Train Well, because they're there for you to encourage you with your workouts, to help you whenever you have questions or feedback. You can pop over to the live chat. If you'd like to check out Train Well, formerly known as Copilot, please feel free to click on the link in the description down below to get 14 days free with your own personal trainer. I quickly got ready for the day and then I hopped over to my computer to get started on some writing stuff. I don't have very much time for Project Spiegel Tent today, so I'm just very quickly jotting down notes, just doing some more of that exploratory work. It's really hard for me to really describe what I'm doing here with Spiegel Tent because I don't know where I'm going with that story yet. If you don't know, this is the new novel I'm working on. I am very, very early stages with it. And even on days when I don't have a lot of time, it's really good for me to just jot down the thoughts that I am sort of mulling over, to go over my problem solving bits and pieces. I kind of find that exercise is so vital for my concentration, for my scatterbrain self to actually sit down and be able to get stuff done. And so I just want to really, really quickly jump in, get some writing stuff done before I hop over to my kind of more pressing work tasks that I need to do. And then I'll come back to some more writing stuff at the end of the day when I know I have more time. I'm going to get started on YouTube content work stuff. I have a thumbnail that I need to do this morning. I have to get through my emails, which is always my least favorite task in the entire world. And then I just have some little fiddly admin stuff to do. I have to finish off editing this video. I'm currently working on my worst to best books of 2024 so far video, which should be live now, so you can go and watch that video if you'd like. But anyway, I think just before we get into work, I can show you guys a very small reintroduction to my office, because there's been some changes. I rearranged my bookshelves. I have moved a bunch of stuff around. I got the prettiest lamp you've ever seen in your life. When we went to Japan about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago maybe. These glass lamps, I love them so much. I've been obsessed with them for a really long time. And I also just kept noticing them over and over again when we were in Japan. And I don't think I vlogged this, but the day we went to see Mount Fuji, we finally went to Mount Fuji, there was this really beautiful museum which was dedicated to music essentially, and self-automating instruments. And it was one of the most beautiful and whimsically magical places I have ever been in my entire life. There was this enormous organ that played this music and I was so blown away by it. I'll put in a clip here. But honestly, it was just magical, to the point where I was almost tearing up. But yeah, at that place, we also saw a lot of these sort of glass Tiffany lamps. I think they're called Tiffany lamps, the kind of stained glass lamps. And anyway, I have had my eye on this particular one for a very, 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 very long time. I love this glass lamp. I just simplified everything here because I feel like I had just a lot of stuff. And then the next big difference is this bookcase, which I've kind of just reorganized, and I'm yelling so that the microphone will pick up what I'm saying. Reorganized it so that basically my picture books are more prettily laid out rather than just kind of stacked, and this one particularly is this massive Botanicum, which I love, and it's in Japanese, and I love this book, but it was kind of sitting like this before and I didn't like that because I thought it was getting damaged. We've got non-fiction books, we've got Japanese textbooks, Japanese literature here, picture books, sketchbooks, and here we have a bunch of reference books and poetry, and then my notebooks. And something very exciting which arrived not super long ago is this. So I wanted to show you guys this thing because something very small but very cool happened. This is a German English textbook. It's a German publisher who's publishing textbooks for people who want to learn English. So essentially what happened is last year a publisher reached out to me, and if you've already heard this story, I'm sorry, I've already told it over on Patreon. A publisher from Germany reached out to me and said, hey, one of our staff has read A Year in Tokyo, the memoir I self-published, and we'd like to include a couple of pages of your book in our textbook. and for some reason my alarm bells just started going off because immediately I was like, this isn't a real publisher, this is not a real email. And I think at the time, I think I was querying, and so anything that I didn't really feel like I had the bandwidth for, I was just like, nope, that's probably a scam, we're not going to entertain it. Thankfully, they kept persisting. They actually reached out to my literary agent Bailey, and she came back to me and she was like, hey, there's this German publisher, and I was like, those emails aren't real. So silly. Anyway, my literary agent is much, much better at reading than I am, because clearly it was a cool opportunity. Clearly it was not fake or dodgy. I should say that through my YouTube email address, you would not believe how many scam emails I get. Like, a lot of them are quite convincing too. So that's part of why my alarm bells just go off at the slightest thing. But regardless, real publisher wanting to reach out to me to include a couple of pages of A Year in Tokyo in this book. And so a few months ago, I sent off the assets and the book got published and they sent it to New York. And then my literary agent forwarded it on to me in Australia, and I got this package which said my literary agency's name, New York City, on it, and that was a really, really cool thing for me to sort of get that. And lo and behold, here is a page of A Year in Tokyo in this German textbook. So we've got this page, and then we've got this second page here, and then we've got some comprehension questions, which is pretty standard if you've ever read a language learning textbook. But it was really, really cool. I'm so excited. And a few of my patrons have mentioned that apparently this is quite a popular textbook in Germany. My first book, my illustrated guide and memoir, features in this textbook, and I have now earned my very, very first, albeit small, check from traditional publishing, which is so incredibly exciting. That was part of the justification as to why I got myself a cute lamp. And yeah, I'm gonna stop gushing and procrastinating now. I need to make this thumbnail, I need to do my emails, I need to finalize some bits and pieces for this video, so let's go ahead and go do that. Video is now all done, the metadata is done, the thumbnail's done, it's edited, it is exported, it is uploading, and it's all ready to go for when it needs to be uploaded. I managed to get through my emails, thank goodness for that, and also did some like little admin stuff with like planning for the month ahead for August on Notion. I find the mornings really, really tough from a concentration perspective. Like, we've already had a really lovely productive day so far because I've already like worked out, I've gotten through all this like admin stuff, and now this afternoon I'm gonna have like the fun stuff I'm actually excited to get to. But I now need to quickly go on my lunch break and do some admin things. I need to go order my glasses, I need to go to the markets to go grab some ingredients for lunch. So let's grab my coat and my bag. Where's my bag? It's starting to warm up here in Adelaide, of course. Hello, Southern Hemisphere. We are in winter presently. So I'm gonna head to the markets and the optometrist. Let's go. Hello, we're back. We have things. Let's make some lunch. I meant to buy baby spinach, and I saw this spinach at the market and I was like, oh my god, that's so much spinach for such a cheap price. Goodness gracious me. See how we go. I'm sure it has the same amount of iron in it that baby spinach has. It is a beautiful big bunch of spinach. We're now gonna make some lunch. Today we're gonna be making some stroganoff. I've been batch making stroganoff in like 6 servings and then freezing the servings that I don't need. So I have some stroganoff here, which I've made, which I'm gonna heat up. I'm gonna put on some rice because I prefer to have rice with stroganoff instead of pasta. Lunch is all done. I'm now going to pull up Notion and see what I had on my list to do for this afternoon. I love filming like day in my life videos. I really love this format. I love watching these kinds of videos, but I, as a creative person, find it really, really hard to context switch between the vlogs and my work day. And so if I just disappear for a little bit, I'm sorry, but I do have some stuff I need to get done. So I might disappear for a little bit from the vlog and just get that done and buckle down. And then I have some planning to do for this class, so I can quickly fill you in on what I'm going to be doing for that. Basically teaching about fairy tales and structure and character, and I'm not really sure how deep I'm supposed to go with this lesson because I'm going to be teaching year 8s, which is 13-year-olds. I think I turned 13 in year 8. Kids aren't very old, but it's kind of like an after school writers group, which I think is a really, really cool thing. Like if I could have had something like this when I was a kid, it would have meant the earth to me, which is why I was really excited to volunteer my time and go and teach these kids. And it seems like a really, really cool opportunity. And I love doing community centric stuff. Like I haven't done a workshop in a while, but I also do workshops at the local library. So I've done like this like workshop on like YouTube and personal branding. And it's such a joy to get out and do stuff that's like grounded in the local community, especially because if you're a YouTuber or you're self-employed, you spend a lot of time at home on your own. And so it's really nice to do this kind of stuff and to connect with the local community. And yeah, I'm considering whether I teach the mice quotient, which is a structural method which is really, really helpful for short stories especially, which I don't know if she invented it, but I first heard of it from Mary Robinette Cowell. She definitely talks about it in the Brandon Sanderson lecture on short stories, so I'll link that down below because if you're an aspiring writer, that's a really, really helpful structural method. So it just kind of depends on how far these kids are in their writing journey. I don't know, this is a group of kids who are apparently really, really switched on and like really love writing and all of this stuff, so I'm gonna prepare that, but if that's a bit too advanced for them, I'm gonna have some like backup stuff on just character, and I don't know how I genuinely have no idea how deep I'm supposed to go with this content because my experience with teaching is like 3-year-olds to 12-year-olds, like teaching English, but those kids, they were not fluent in English, and so the content was prepared for me. I didn't really have to think too hard about it. So I'm just gonna write some like very basic notes. It's like a 50-minute lesson I'm gonna be doing. I need to raise my chair because I lowered it very much to talk to you guys. This is the height I'm supposed to be. 4:56 p.m. We're getting on the day. The work day is almost over, and I am now going to get to doing some of this pitch work. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this like 1,000 times before, but even in the middle of winter, this apartment has such bad problems with the heat that if I just have these 2 curtains open, the sun is already quite low. It's already really warm in here, so I might need to like close one of them in a second. But yeah, I now have a little bit of time to start working on this pitch. So essentially what happened this morning before I started filming is I got a rejection. Now I swear to God, every time I update you guys on writing stuff, it just kind of sounds like I'm talking about rejections. But the thing is that so much of writing is rejections, and you know, I've spent not very much time on my short form work, on my short stories, on my pitches for articles, and I kind of submitted this, let's say, Hail Mary pitch for something that I thought was really, really cool, like a really ambitious idea. It was like more of a literary criticism piece. It's too warm, I'm gonna shut this. The thing that I submitted to this place was quite ambitious. It was a bit of literary criticism. I've never written this kind of thing before. It was kind of scholarly and I was very excited about it. But I got a really, really lovely rejection email this morning about this piece. So that means that I can now go ahead and try to repackage that pitch for a different magazine, like a different organization. Honestly, I'm just quite grateful that this place I submitted this article pitch to, I'm grateful that they responded, because a lot of places don't. Like there's this one other magazine that I've been trying to get my work published in for such a long time. Like I've submitted so many articles to them and they have never once even replied to me. And so like it's so insane to me how So much of writing and pitching and submitting to places is these organizations like not even replying to you, which is fine. That's I would prefer responses. But yeah, anyway, got a lovely rejection this morning. One of the joyful things about being in Australia, being on my time zone, is that the workday for most of the places that I'm submitting to, which are not in Australia, the workday happens while I'm asleep, which means that I never receive rejections at like noon or 3 p.m. I always get them when I first wake up. Sort of fueled by this, throughout today my brain has sort of been turning and turning over this idea, not for this other pitch that I had, but for a new idea, a kind of memoir piece. And there's another third literary magazine I really, really like that I might try and submit to. I haven't written memoir in this kind of way before. I mentioned in one of my last videos that this is kind of like an exploratory time for me to be like developing some skills in like nonfiction, memoir writing, short form stuff. I want to be working on some short stories before I dive into like writing Project Spiegel Tent as my kind of like full-time project, you know, in addition to like all my other like work that I do. Because this thing I'm writing is going to be more of a memoir piece, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it from a structural perspective, because for the pitch that I did that was kind of scholarly and ambitious, that had a lot of research in it. Like I did so much research, and it was joyful research. I enjoyed doing it, but it was a lot of work even to put the pitch together, whereas this, if it's memoir, is going to be a lot more based on my own like anecdotal experience about this specific thing. But then like anything that I write that's memoir, I'm going to want to have some amount of like research and things to point to. Anyway, I'm just going to start typing. We're going to see how we go. It has now been another time skip. It's currently 8:35 p.m. So I finished my work day and then I went out to meet Tyler and we went and got some food shopping and like takeaway. We had Indian food, we watched Arrested Development, and now we're here and I am finally ending this vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed this day in my life on a very, very productive but peaceful and healthy day in my life. It was very like laid back and chill, and in the end I managed to do quite a lot of that little memoir piece that I'm working on. So I think I did like 700,000 words? No! 700 words. I'm so used to Project Teacup, just like talking about books in thousands of words. I wrote 700 words-ish, and the thing is that the concept for this book, I'm so tired. This article I've been working on, I had the concept for it like 2 years ago maybe, so it's kind of been an idea that's been brewing for a really long time, and I kind of just find that with lots of different projects I need the gestation time of like thinking about things and turning things over, like when it like my brain is full of stories and articles and things I want to write. Like, I constantly have like 3 or 4 short stories, 5 novels, like several articles. There's constantly things turning over in my brain that I want to write, and I kind of feel like as time goes on I'm just kind of like collecting things and collating ideas and, you know, kind of like mentally cataloging the confluence of different things coming together. And so yeah, today I managed to smash out like 700 words of that article, really, which is really, really cool, but that comes out of like months and months and months of me thinking about it in the back of my head and like sort of doing that like preliminary work. But anyway, thank you guys so incredibly much for being here, for coming along with me for this day in my life. And also very quickly, I wanted to say a massive thank you again to Trainwell for sponsoring this video. Don't forget that if you click on the link in the description down below, you can get 14 days free with your own personal trainer. I hope you liked the video. Also, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone over on Patreon for supporting my content. Without everyone over on Patreon, I wouldn't be able to make these videos, so just an enormous thank you to everyone over there. Over on Patreon we have a whole bunch of lovely bonus content, bonus videos, our book club, our Discord server, so many things over there. So if you want to support my work and get some bonus content from me, please feel free to check out Patreon. Take care everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.